All right, thanks, guys. The Doosan Bears take on the Hanwha Eagles, 5:30 a.m. Eastern start time. The Bears are the $3.33 favorite. Total's 10.5 flat. The Eagles are plus 230 on the money line. And if you like Hanwha keeping it within two, they're plus a $1.30 for some run line cash. Now I'm 10-1 in my last 11 extra daily pick tier package plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And that's a website where I sell really great sports pick subscriptions, beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. Now, the daily extra pick is one of those packages that I sell, as I'm also 15-4 in my last 19 picks in that category as well. And that's good for 79% over the past, nearly 3 weeks in that package. I also have a bunch of different great memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. A lot of great variety, a lot of good stuff going on that site right now. And if you want to check out the website right now, maybe browse a little bit, check out my current record. Link for that site is in the description section below, and that's patreon.com/BrockPage. Now, the Eagles are coming off a 5-0 shutout loss to the Lotte Giants this morning. No surprise there. And that's going to cap off a 3-game sweep. Matter of fact, the Eagles are the coldest team in the KBO right now, as you probably already know, losing their last 17 straight games. And just for reference purposes, the Eagles haven't won a game since May 22nd. Their pitiful 7-26 record has buried them in last place in the 10-team KBO with a win percentage of just .212. And they're taking on a Doosan team who won 3 out of their last 5 themselves, including an impressive 9-1 victory over the first place NC Dinos. The Bears also swept the Kia Tigers in their prior series before playing the Dinos. Their 5-2 record in their last 7 is good for 71% during that short span. They're currently tied with the LG Twins for second place in the KBO. Now, total-wise, 2 out of Doosan's last 4 stayed under the total of 10.5 runs. 5 out of their last 8 also stayed under that number. Meanwhile, on the Hanwha side of things, they saw 2 out of their last 4 stay under the 10.5 themselves. Give me the Doosan Bears minus 1.5, getting the job done for some run line cash, and the under 10.5 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Friday's KBO action. Friday, the weekend is finally here. Happy Friday to ya. Now, before we dive into some more of the video here, I just have to quickly remind you once again that after Wednesday's sports wagering action, I improved to 10-1 in my last 11 extra daily pick premium plays on patreon.com/BrockPage. And of course, that's a website where I sell really great sports pick subscriptions beginning at just $1.99 through the end of the month. There's also a bunch of different great memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. We'll bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. And one of those packages is called the Extra Daily Pick Tier Membership. It's only $2.99 through the end of the month, and that's $2.99, by the way. And, in addition to going 10-1, my last 11 in that package, I'm also hitting at 15-4 in my last 19 picks in that category as well. And that's good for 79% over the past nearly 3 weeks in that membership. I strongly recommend you at least consider using the website for sports picks. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into some more action here. I'm talking about the Lotte Giants versus the LG Twins. 5:30 a.m. Eastern first pitch. The Twins are the $1.75 favorite. Total's 8.5 flat. The Giants are plus 135. They're also minus 160, catching the 1.5. Now, Lotte is coming off a 5-0 shutout victory over the Hanwha Eagles. They also won their last 6 straight, successfully completing 2 consecutive series sweeps in a row. The Giants are giving up just 1.8 runs per contest on average in their last 6 as well. They're just 3 games behind of the Twins for that second place spot. And speaking of the Twins, they've dropped 3 out of their last 6, including a 5-3 loss to the SK Wyverns. They also won just 4 out of their last 9. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, we're looking at a Twin squad who saw their last 3 straight stay under the total of 8.5 runs. Meanwhile, 3 out of the Giants' last 5 stayed under that number themselves. So with all that said and done, give me the Lotte Giants plus 1.5 and the under 8.5 in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be the NC Dinos. They're squaring off against the Kiwoom Heroes, 5:30 a.m. Eastern start. The Dinos are the massive $3.30 favorite. Totals 10.5 juice to the over. The Heroes are plus 230 for a win and plus $1.15, keeping it close. Now the Heroes are on a 2-game losing streak, with both of those losses coming to the 7th place Samsung Lions. They've also dropped 3 out of their last 4, including an 8-1 loss to the LG Twins. The Heroes averaged just 1.6 runs per contest in those 3 losses. They're also just 3 games ahead of the 7th place Samsung Lions in the standings. Now the Dinos on the other side, completely different story, as they've won 2 out of their last 3 themselves. They've also won 7 out of their last 8, which included a series victory over the Bears and the Wyverns, along with a 3-game sweep of the Eagles during that span. Needless to say, the Dinos remain in the top spot of the standings, going 25-7 thus far on the season. Good for a win percentage of .781. Now, total-wise, 2 out of the Dinos' last 4 stayed under the total of 10.5 runs. Meanwhile, on the Kiwoom side of things, they saw their last 8 straight contests stay under that number themselves. So with all that said and done, give me the NC Dinos minus 1.5 and the under 10.5 runs in that contest. Next game, the Kia Tigers squaring off against the SK Wyverns, 5:30 a.m. Eastern start time. The Tigers are the $1.55 favorite, total 7.5. The Wyverns are plus 120. And if you like the Wyverns catching the 1.5, they're minus 150 for some run line cash. Now, the Wyverns are currently on a 2-game skid, scoring just 4 total runs in those contests. They've also dropped 3 out of their last 4, and that's going to go ahead and include a 3-0 shutout loss to the Samsung Lions. Now, the Wyverns are averaging just 3.1 runs per contest in their last 8, struggling offensively. They also find themselves in second to last place in the 10-team KBO, winning just 11 out of 32 games thus far in the year. They're taking on a Kia team who's won 2 out of their last 3, including a very impressive 10-0 double-digit shutout victory over the KT Wiz. The Tigers are just 3.5 games back of second place in the 10-team KBO. And when it comes to the total in this one, the Tigers saw their last 2 straight get over the total of 7.5 runs. Pretty low number there. Meanwhile, on the Wyverns side, they saw 8 out of their last dozen get over that total themselves. Give me the Kia Tigers winning this one outright and the over 7.5 in that game. All right. With that, I'm going to slide to my next and final matchup for the show in the KBO, and it is going to be the KT Wiz versus the Samsung Lions, 5:30 a.m. Eastern first pitch. The Wiz are minus 275, totals 10.5, juice to the over. The Lions are plus 205 for the win and plus $1.25 on the run line. Now the Lions, despite being heavy underdogs here, they're on a 2-game winning streak with both of those victories coming against the Kiwoom Heroes. They also won 3 out of their last 4, including a 3-0 shutout victory over the SK Wyverns. The Lions have given up just 3.1 runs per contest on average in their last 6. They're taking on a Wiz team who's dropped 2 out of their last 3, including an embarrassing 10-0 double-digit shutout loss to the Kia Tigers. They've also lost 6 out of their last 7 games, including a 1-0 shutout loss to the Lotte Giants as well. KT's 3-9 record in their last dozen is good for just 25% during that span. The Wiz are just 1 game ahead of the 9th place SK Wyverns in the standings as well. Now, total-wise, the Wiz saw 2 out of their last 3 stay under the total of 10.5 runs. Matter of fact, 6 out of their last 8 stayed under that total as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Samsung side, they saw their last 6 straight stay under that 10.5 themselves. A lot of unders between these two squads. So with all that said and done, give me the Samsung Lions plus 1.5 in the under 10.5 in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Thursday or Friday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.